Okay, so today's March 20th, right? We're having an service today on fire and safety and how to respond to a fire. And obviously, this is about safety. We've been talking a lot about safety lately because those are one of the bigger things that they look for during survey. So also, we want to be prepared when there is a fire in our unit. And we've had a lot of what do you call it, fire drill lately. So a lot of these ladies here that you see in the table, like Sylvia's been here for a long time. I'm sure she knows every steps about fire, how to respond to a fire, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at the 3 catalysts to start a fire, because this is gonna matter when you're responding to a fire, right? 3 catalysts to start a fire. You need combustion, you need fuel, you need oxygen. Those 3 things has to be together basically to start a fire, to continue to have that fire burning, right? So that's important because when you come into a unit where there is a fire, if you take away one of those, or maybe even decrease even just the oxygen, is going to slow down that fire. Also, that the reason why that's important also is because the doors that we have here at Seacrest, they're either 20-minute fireproof or 1 hour. So these doors right here, these are 20-minute fireproof. Okay, they're like half metal, half wood. And the doors that kind of connects the resident, that you can close the door to the residence room, those are 20-minute fireproof. The doors that are 1 hour fireproof are going to be the ones that closes the hallway. Okay, so if you really think about it, you have South Hall, maybe that's like there's a big fire here, right? If you try to close the doors and try to kind of mitigate the fire, closing the doors, it'll decrease the oxygen, but also knowing the type of doors that you have in there, it's going to give you at least an hour, right? Or maybe even longer. Sorry. If you try to keep, it's okay. So we're just talking about fire, and okay. we just started. We're just talking about the 3 catalysts for fire. Okay. We're just talking about if you go into a unit and there's a fire there, the number one way to kind of slow it down is to close the door, decrease the oxygen. Okay. So, and then these doors that we have here at Seacrest, these are 20-minute fireproof, and then the one that kind of closes on the hallway, those are 1 hour fireproof door. Okay. If you discover a fire in a residence room, what is the first thing you would do? What is the first thing you would do? What is that acronym that we're going to remember?
Rescue.
Rescue first the resident, right? You want to think of a race, right? You want to rescue the resident first, right? Race. R is for rescue the resident. A is what? Activate the alarm, right? You want to be calling out for help, or pulling the fire alarm, right? C is what?
Confine the alarm.
Try to confine it, right? Close the door, trying to kind of contain it, and that's where the door thing and the oxygen thing kind of takes in place. And E stands for what? Evacuate or extinguish, right? And since we are in that note now, where do we evacuate? What place do we run to, or what place do we evacuate a resident to?
To the parking lot.
To the parking lot? Which parking lot?
The Goldberg.
The Goldberg parking lot?
Right?
No.
YMCA.
The YMCA, yeah, right? It has to be the bigger parking lot, right? Or the parking lot over here in Silverado, right? That's a shared parking lot, right? So we kind of want to know where those evacuation centers is at, so that way, we have everybody's in the same platform there. All right. What is the second step to take upon discovering a fire? We talked about this already.
What number are you on?
Right?
Make sure everything's off the hallways.
So we're still talking about race. So you rescue the resident. Obviously, the second step would be alarm. We talked about it already. So that's kind of just going back. Where are the fire alarms located in GHC?
In every hallway.
In every hallway, fire alarms.
The fire
alarms.
Oh, it's nurses station.
Nurses station.
Fire alarm. There's a nursing station and also the what?
Right there.
The
Kitchen.
The main exit. The main exit has them too. So like these exits that you have, as you exit out of this door right here, it's probably got a fire alarm, right? Yeah, these doors right here have a fire alarm. So if the fire is going off and you're like, hey, I need to notify everybody there's a fire here, you can just pull the fire alarm as you're close by. Okay? Do you have a question, Daisy? No. Okay. What about the fire extinguisher? Where are they located?
In every hallway.
Those are every hallways, and then every 75 feet or so as you're walking down the hallway, you should have one, right? And then what acronym do we use for the fire extinguisher?
Pass.
PASS. And what does that stand for?
Pull
pull,
Squeeze and sweep.
pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep. That's right. And how far do you stand from the fire? What is your
Base.
distance?
6 feet.
6 to 10 feet, right? And then where do you want to aim the nozzle?
Base.
At the base of the fire, right? Okay. And how often do we have training for fire extinguisher here at Seacrest?
Like every month.
No.
It's like once a month.
Fire extinguisher, an actual fire extinguisher where there's an actual
Oh.
fire.
Like every
It's
year.
yearly.
It's yearly, yeah. You get I think we just had one like 6 months ago. But we were so busy, none of us could really. I mean, you could, they'll announce it. We have a training on fire extinguisher. Try to go over there. It's actually pretty fun, guys, because you're having to like use the fire extinguisher on this fire, right? So it's a good experience. Avoid inhalation of the powder, obviously, with the fire extinguisher is very toxic. So try not to inhale that, okay? What is the significance of fireproof doors in GHC? We talked about that already. These doors are 20-minute fireproof and 1 hour fireproof. That just gives you a knowledge of how long that fire might be able to contain in one room, right?
Did you already do the fire
Are you
alarm
reading?
panel?
Are you answering the question?
No, not yet. We're just going. We'll go over the test in a little bit.
Yeah, you just-
Where is the emergency shutoff valves located for GHC? The gas shutoff. Where's that located?
By Mel's.
By Mel's. That's right. How about the water shutoff?
Seacrest Way.
Seacrest Way, and that's in the way. And parking lot over here, right? Where you guys park over here? There's trees and stuff by the road right there. Yeah, there's a red pipe right there. You can control the water through there. The city or whatever the fire department can turn it off. Okay.
Electricity would be
So-
MDS, next to MDS office.
Yeah. The electrical room is gonna be by the MDS. And why do we need to know where the electrical rooms are during a fire? Why do you think that is?
to prevent more fire.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, right. Because if the fire is running through the electrical panel, it could run through the whole building,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
And if you don't turn it off, it's gonna keep running and just burning the whole building down.
true.
So we got if the fire department comes in, you're gonna have to figure out where the where the electrical panel is at and turn it off to kind of stop the fire from traveling. Okay. Where is the material? Where is this one? Where is the material safety data sheet located? Right.
It's a nurse's
You're
station.
dealing with.
On the medical, we have
Yeah,
medical records, right?
no, it's downstairs in Martha's office, right?
Oh.
The safety data sheet. This has nothing to do with fire, and I guess it does. You're dealing with chemicals, and somehow you're dealing with fire, and there's chemicals involved. Obviously, you gotta need to know where the safety data sheet is at.
But don't
It's
we
also
have
at the
one in the
nurses,
nurses'
the nurses
station?
station,
Yeah.
but it's in the shared drive. It's in the computer.
We
Okay,
used to
and
have
the
it in a
nurses
notebook.
I
Yeah.
remember.
but
and the
now
nurses has to access it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you're talking about something else, and I'll go over that in a bit. What is what letter is GHC? What if you're calling 911? What letter are we in? What is this building?
B.
Building B. That's right. Look at Sylvia knows. Okay. How to read the fire panel? If everybody's freaking out, right, and the nurses are doing something else, maybe in the bathroom taking a break, and you're the only one reading the fire panel, how would you know that there's a fire or whatnot? What would
lights
you?
up.
It lights up. What do you push? What button do you push? Which one? Circle, triangle,
button or
red button.
something,
Right?
yeah.
There's a bunch of red buttons in there.
Yeah,
Which one?
there's
Which one has I been saying the whole time to push?
No, it's the red button.
It's the red button. Okay, all right.
Can I
Okay,
just
guys.
say red button?
There's a fire panel, right? There's the first two squares that has a red button on it. It'll be blinking, right? The first two squares.
I was half right.
Okay, if you push that button, what is he gonna tell you? What is he gonna tell you? What's this?
Location.
Location.
Okay, all right, good.
Right?
All right, yeah, that's right.
You're looking at me, John.
Yeah. I'm looking
I
at
know.
everybody. Okay. All right. Our role during fire. Okay, our role as a CNA. Maybe let's put Martha. You're working in the South Hall. What's your primary function as a CNA when you hear the fire alarm goes off and now the door is shutting down, right? Let's just say that you're like the main CNA here. You're the only CNA, right? The LVN is passing meds. She can't hear or whatever, and the other CNA was taking a break. There's the resource nurse saying, hey, there's a fire in the South Hall, we gotta go find it. There's two residents in the hallway, and then you have a bunch of stuff going on. What would you do as a CNA in the South Hall? What's your primary function as a CNA in the South Hall?
Clear the hallway.
Clear the hallways.
Check the
How are you gonna clear the hallways?
on the empty rooms, put a cart.
Okay.
Whatever is in the hall.
There's no
just put
residents
it-
there?
yeah,
Okay.
Just put
Alright.
a cart or whatever we have
Okay.
in the hall. Just
Alright.
make it clear and then
Okay.
go room by room and check the patient, if there's a patient in the, or
Okay.
fire in that room.
And there's no fire. And if there's no fire in the room, what do you do to indicate that there's no fire on there?
I just put a little tag that you already checked
a little
it.
door
Yeah.
tag.
Okay. And where do we get those tags from?
Right where your fire extinguisher's at.
Fire extinguisher. That's right. There's those little signs there that you can get and then put them in there. What do you do with the resident in the hallway? You keep them there?
No,
No,
we
you take 'em to the activity room.
or follow
Activity room. That's right. It's at the synagogue. We take them over there, put them over there. If they're out their room, if they're in the room, there's no fire there. Just close the door. But if they're in the hallway, right, and you need to take them out of the hallway and bring it over to the to activity room, right? All right, perfect. And then, I mean, the primary function as a scene in the South Hall and the fire is there is to really clear the hallway, make sure that the residents are out. And before the fire alarm goes off, only one side of the hallway should have things on it, like your cart or whatever. And then afterwards, all your hallways, the hallway should be clear. Should be nice and clear, okay? Then you're gonna hear somebody announce, code red, building B, room 18, code red, building B, room 18. You're gonna hear it 3 times. And you just want to be prepared for when the fire department is in here. If you're already all set and ready to go, and then the East Hall is still like freaking out or whatever, and they're not ready yet, you can go out and help them as well. Okay. All right. And the LVNs is gonna do the same thing, try to help you out, and the resource nurse is gonna be involved looking at the fire panel, but also calling out the code red. Okay. What does EOP stands for? What is that EOP? EOP, Emergency Operational Plan. That's the book, guys, that we're talking about. Maybe that's what you're talking about. Emergency. That book right there will tell you every single thing in terms of emergency and how to respond to emergency. That's at the nursing station.
Operational.
Emergency Operational Plan or program. Okay, there's either plan or program.
Where's it found?
It's over at the nursing station. It's a big book, right? And then it goes over every single emergency that you might face here at GHC, and it's step by step, okay? All right, what about the paging system requirements?
What equipment?
Who calls for the paging system?
The nurse.
And how do you page out? How do you page out?
Code red.
Code red, but what equipment do you use?
Radio.
The radio on channel 4. If the resource nurse is doing something else and nobody's calling code red and you're comfortable doing it, the radio, turn to channel 4. You're gonna go code red, building B, Goldberg Healthcare Center, room 18, and you're gonna say it 3 times. And the main reason why you want to say Goldberg and then the building B is because if somebody doesn't know what building B, A, whatever, somebody's gonna know that we're Goldberg Healthcare Center. Okay, and Goldberg Healthcare Center requires more assistance than your independent or assisted living, because all your patients here are pretty much bedfast, needs physical assistance. So everybody should be running over here in Goldberg trying to help out, just in case there is a massive fire and we need to evacuate everybody, right? Okay, how to utilize census and daily activity sheets. So I was gonna print this out, but there is a fire and you're evacuating everybody. Make sure you have your census with you, so you know all your residents are with you, right? Bring the 530 with you, so everybody who signed in to go to work is there. You're checking everything on there, right? And so those are 2 things you want to really consider when you're evacuating people. What about the cart? Where do you find that? The emergency evacuation cart. Where do you find the evacuation cart?
On the scale, right?
By the scale? No, there's a little cart that we use, right? And there's like there's a blanket there, there's a tourniquet there.
It's in the
Where?
It's over
Not
here.
this-
It's in the dirty linen.
it's the door
Yeah,
right before.
right next to the dirty linen, right? There's a hazard there.
It used to. I
Yeah.
can't remember what door that is now. It used to be the soiled door, but
Yeah.
now it's.
Yeah.
There's
okay.
a little cart there, guys, that you can
Okay.
take with
I
you if you're
remember that part
evacuating
used to be
people.
out here,
Mhm.
but you guys moved
So it's
it.
moved over here.
And that's also
Okay.
where we get our extra cords and flashlights and all
Yeah,
that.
the extra cord when you're running out of power is the room next to it.
With
Okay,
electrical
with the
room.
bigger
Yeah,
fire
the
panel.
electrical room, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, it's-
All right. Any questions on fire, guys? On how to respond to fire? I think we kind of know now the basics on that, right? Let's go over the test real quick.
Okay.
Let's go over the test. Okay. Who is responsible for reading the fire alarm?
Everyone.
Everyone,
Whoever's next to
right?
it, yeah.
Everyone's reading. You push the fire alarm and tell you where it's at, what room. What building letters is Goldberg? We know that.
B.
Building B. What are the fire alarm? Where are the fire alarm panels located in building B?
Nurses station.
Okay. Right, there's one nursing station or the main exit, right? How should hallways look like before and after the fire alarm?
cleared of all carts
Yeah.
and doors closed until code is clear.
So before the fire alarm, right? You should have only one side that you have, like just right here, looking at South Hall. You shouldn't have a cart on the left side and the right side. They should all be just on one side.
On one side.
Yeah, and then when the fire alarm goes off, right, it needs to be clear of everything. Okay, shove everything where there's no residents. You can put them here. There's no residents here. Throw them all in here. Okay. How should what can fire panel tell you? What can fire panel tell
Location
you?
of the fire.
Location or what kind of fire, right? What equipment can you use to utilize the overhead paging system? The radio, channel 4. Right. What does the acronym EOP stand for, and where can you find it?
Emergency operation plan.
Okay. When clearing the hallway during code red incident, where do we store the med carts and the linen carts?
In empty
Rooms, right? Yeah. Why do we need to make sure that the charge nurse stays at the nurse station during code red incident if there are no hazards in the immediate area?
To call and overpage code.
Yeah, 911, and then to kind of alert them when 911 comes in, they're gonna have to kind of tell them where the fire is at. So they need to stay there as a charge nurse. If the resident is spotted in the hallway during fire alarm activation, where can we safely take this resident?
To the
Activity room, right, synagogue, right? Where can we safely evacuate all of our residents during massive fire earthquake events?
YMCA parking lot.
Also around the parking lot, right? Okay. Where are the emergency shut-off valves for your building? Your gas shut-off is in Mel's, electricity is MDS, and then water is in Seacrest Way, right? All right, last one here. Why is this important to know the most likely scenario? And they're talking about where these things are at. Like, why is it important to know where the shut-off valves are?
So you can let emergency services know.
Yeah. So, like, if you have a leaking gas, right, and then you turn off the gas and you won't have an explosion, right?
Right.
If you have an earthquake and there's water, you won't have flooding or water involved, and then there's electricity in there, you can get electrocuted, right?
So what's the best answer?
So what is
make
important
it
to know? To make it safe, but so that
For
way the
emergency
emergency personnel
purposes.
can basically turn them off.
Purposes.
Yeah, so that 911 or whatever those guys are called, the emergency personnel, when they come in, they can shut it off, right? So it's important to know where those at to kind of mitigate all the emergency situation. All right, any questions? Any questions? See how fast it is, guys? That's fast. That's fast. Now we're all aware of how to respond to emergency. Okay, so this is one of your required CEUs, guys. Okay. All right, make sure you guys sign in, and then if you don't see your name here, guys, put your name in the back, and then I will add your name on there as well.
Oh, I've just put it on already.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Okay. All right. So Daisy, I'm gonna have you just put the dates on all these right here, basically, and so right here. This is me right here. This is for her because
Yeah,
this is
she's
competency.
new.
You have any questions on this, by the way, Daisy?
Yeah.
You can just put an arrow on this
I
for
wanted to
today's
ask
date.
you, my renewal is coming up in August. I just want to know if I'm caught up. Do you know? How do I find out?
Give me your renewal page and I'll figure it out for you. Okay.
Oh,
So your renewal, you haven't been. When is it? August?
August.
Oh my God, you still got a long ways.
I want to be ready.
Yeah, all right.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
So
Daisy,
when
you
I
gonna be here
get it, I'll
tomorrow?
bring it to you. Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh wait,
Thursday, right?
not tomorrow. I have my other job, but I'll be here on Friday.
Friday?